Hey guys, it's Licious Kid from ClimaxCombo, and we're back with another Leaks of the Week. This week's going to be a pretty crazy week. We have 4 series for this week. We have the Attack on Titan Booster Pack, which is coming out here in the US on July 31st. Wow, July 31st, that's crazy. That's really soon. I didn't think it was coming out that soon. But anyways, we have the Attack on Titan Booster Pack. Then we have the Girlfriend Beta Booster Pack, which is coming out July 24th. So that's very soon as well. Then we have the Shining Resonance Booster Pack coming out a week after on the 31st. And lastly, we are finishing up the 2 Love Root Darkness Trial Deck, which came out, I think, last Thursday or last Friday. So yeah, just a whole lot of cards this week. And also this week, and it doesn't help that this week they featured a lot of really good cards for every series that isn't 2 Love Root Darkness, because it's just a trial deck. But like Shining Resonance got good cards, Girlfriend Beta got some good cards, Attack on Titan has a crazy amount of level 3s this week, so it's probably going to be a pretty long one. I'll do my best to shorten it up, because I'm sure you guys don't like watching those 1 hour plus leaks of the week like I did for Love Live. So I'll do my best to keep it short. I say that, but it'll probably still be pretty long. But anyways, yeah, I'll do my best to do so. But before we get started, I would like to say I'm not too familiar with Girlfriend Beta. I don't have a friend that plays Girlfriend Beta, so I don't know what every card has to offer like I would if Checkers with SAO, because Checker owns SAO. So I don't know too much about it, and I also don't know that much about Shining Resonance. The other Shining series in Weiss Schwarz is Shining Force EX or something, and that series is really old. That series came out before I even started playing, so I'm not too familiar with that series, and not a lot of players run that deck. I only played one guy who ran Shining Force at AX 2 years ago. That guy was really good, and it was a really interesting and fun duel. So like I said, but I only played that guy one time, so I don't know too much about Shining Force. So yeah, I'm not too familiar with these series, so if I am missing some obvious synergy with Girlfriend Beta, Shining, do let me know. For Girlfriend Beta, I'm only somewhat familiar with the yellow build, just because I think that is the most popular build, and in my opinion, I think it's the most powerful build out of the 3. So, like I said, if I am missing some obvious synergy, do please let me know. So, with that out of the way, let us get started. So first off is this first off is this Climax. It's a Wind Trigger. My precious and one and only younger sister. It doesn't combo with anything. At least right now, we don't think it combos with anything. So once the booster comes out, it probably will. But as of right now, it's just a vanilla Wind Trigger. Let us go on to Girlfriend Beta. Girlfriend Beta, they seem to be taking a different approach with it. Before, Girlfriend Beta's gimmick / playstyle was very monocolor heavy, because a lot of the cards in the Girlfriend Beta booster pack, they would synergize only with their respective color. So they had a Brainstorm in yellow that only searched for yellow characters. They had a 0/0 pay 1 clock that only searched for yellow characters. They had a ClimaxCombo, the stock 1 soul, that you could grab a yellow character. They had advanced summon level 3s that come out at level 2 if you had all the same color on the field. So before, Girlfriend Beta was very focused on monocolor. It was you either ran pure yellow and splash of level 3 red for the level 3 Chloe, because she's not restricted to any color, or it was something amongst those lines. They would just be very heavy on one color, and maybe they would splash 2, 3, 4 cards of another said color. So perhaps Bushiroad find that too boring. Maybe Girlfriend Beta players were complaining that the deck building is really stale. I don't know what really happened. Maybe they just want to spice things up. But for this booster, they seem to be focusing. They seem to be taking a different approach. They are now focusing on 2 different colors, as you will see here. This is a red Elena, and this is a blue Fumio, and they do synergize with each other. So I guess they're trying to push dual colors, so that way you could spice up the deck building a little. So anyways, this Elena is a 0/0/500. She's her trait is just girl. She has her first ability is a continuous. All your other preparing for a summer Murakami Fumio gains plus 1k power, and she also clocks Bond for the same Fumio she synergizes with. Of course, the said Fumio is this one right here. It's a 105k R. Once again, her trait is girl. During your opponent's turn, when you have one if you have another character with Elena in its name, this card gains plus 1k and plus 1 level. So this combo is very similar to the Kyoko Sayaka combo in Madoka. I'm sure everybody knows it by now because it's in both in JP and in US, and it's been there on both sides for a very long time. So very similar to that. However, there are some differences. Of course, the biggest difference is that this is a clock bond for the Fumio, which is of course very different. I mean, clock bond is debatably better during the early game because you take damage, but you get to save stock. But late game, not as good because taking a damage at late level 2 and at any point at level 3 is quite dangerous. So I still think this combo is really good. Clock bond, so you get to save stock. Increase hand size. Well, if you're stuck at 0.5, you can clock, draw 2, you'll be at 0.6. Play this Elena, clock yourself, bond for the Fumio, you hit level 1 and you're good to go. Stuff like that. So I mean, I think it's really good. This Fumio is a 105k. If you have one Elena in the back, she's a 106k on offense, and then on defense, she's a level 2, 7k. And then if you have two of these Elenas in the back, she's a 107k on offense and a level 2, 8k on defense. Her second ability does not stack. It doesn't say for every Elena. It just says if you have another character with Elena. So like no matter how many Elenas you have, it will only gain plus 1k and plus 1 level during your opponent's turn. So pretty decent power on offense and has pretty good power on defense. For a costless character, I think it's very cost effective. I mean, you can just keep slapping down these Fumios and they're super cost effective. I mean, if you have two let's just imagine there's two Elenas in the back, which won't be too hard to do. I should say two of these Elenas in the back. If you have two of these Elenas in the back, then she's like a 107k on offense, which is pretty annoying to deal with. And then if you have and then on defense, she's a level 2, 8k, which is pretty annoying. I think her defense side, I think the fact that she gains a lot of power on defense and the plus 1 level on defense is really good as well. Because nowadays, a lot of very powerful decks have these plus climax combos, these really cost-effective plussing climax combos that are sometimes dependent on reversing your opponent's character. Something like the level 1 Shimakaze from Kontai. She's low power and she needs to reverse something to search. But if you have these Fumios that are level 2, 8k, it can be pretty difficult for them to do so. And of course, if you have a backup in your hand, it can be all that much more difficult for them to accomplish, and it will make them perhaps a bit more reluctant to try to do so. Also, something like Nisekoi, the 1-0 Tachibana, she's only a 105k. If you play the gate, she's a 106k. If you have like that 2 Summer Chitoge in the back, you can pump one up to like 7.5, 8.5. So you can pump one up to like 8.5 max, or if you pump the middle one, it'll be like a 109k. Still in backup range of this Elena, so like it will make the Nisekoi player more reluctant to try to do so because you don't know what your opponent has in their hand. So just a couple examples I can think of. Maybe also like Unlimited Blade Works, you can try to deny them the 1-0 Shiroe, the 1-0 Shiro. So like having this extra defensive power I think is really good in today's meta because there's just a lot of level 1 climax combos that only like plus when you reverse your opponent character, but this Fumio being a pretty big wall at level 1 for no cost, I think is really good, and it actually puts up a pretty good fight on defense is also, or on offense, I think is really good. And the fact that she also gains a plus 1 level is good, because since a lot of these plussing climax combo at level 1 are dependent on like wind triggers, flare triggers, I don't know, stock 1 souls, gates, they don't give like plus 2 souls, so even if they play like a climax and they try to side, they probably won't side for too much damage. At most, they'll probably just side for 1 damage or like 2 damage if they trigger like a 2k1 soul, what have you. Make it really difficult to side against this Fumio as well. And against the right matchup, I think this combo can take you quite far because of just how much threat it poses at offense and how much of a wall it can be on defense. So overall, I really do think this Elena Fumio combo is good, and it's a good way to promote the dual color aspect that they're trying to push for Girlfriend Beta. So overall, I think this combo is good. It has my stamp of approval. And of course, do keep in mind this works with any Elena. It doesn't have to be specifically this Elena. Of course, this Elena is the most optimal, but let's say you hit level 1 and you didn't draw into any of these 0-0 Elenas. You can play any other Elena and it will gain its respective 1k and 1 level during your opponent's turn. Once again, I'm not too familiar with Girlfriend Beta, and I don't play like the mobile games. I don't know what I don't know. I wouldn't recognize like any good Elena cards I've seen in the past. So if there's any other good Elena cards, like maybe in the previous booster or for more boosters or more cards to come in the new booster, you know, it will be that much better. But as of right now, this is the only Elena I know. So, you know, it works with any Elena. So more power to this Fumio. So overall, really good combo. Just really good. I think it's awesome. And they're both really cute. I don't play the game, but I think the girls are really cute. Anyways, on to shining more really good cards. 0015R Music and Dragon Yuma Ilburn. I've only played like one shining game when I was in middle school, so I have no idea who these characters are. But 0015R Music and Dragon. During your turn, this card gains plus 1k, so it's a 0025 during your turn. Also has another effect. When it's played from hand to stage, you may pay 1, clock yourself. If you do, switch your deck for a level 1 or lower character, show to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. These pay 1 clock effects are so powerful. Like, damn, so good. But you know, I mean, like a prime example is Ricky from Little Busters. He's an R, and he has the secondary effect. And what is he? He's like a $20 R? That's so ridiculous. And like every Little Buster deck kind of needs a play set of Ricky to be competitive, just because that Ricky really is really good. I mean, this pay 1 clock is just so powerful. And the fact that Shining Resonant got it is really good. I mean, Shining Force was pretty much a very low tier deck, was very weak. So I'm sure, you know, perhaps they do need this card. I mean, Little Busters just has such a plethora of cards. They have so many options. And, you know, that 1-0 Ricky is really powerful for that reason, because it can search out so many things from, like, all the booster packs. They have, like, 10 booster packs by now, I swear to God. But anyways, this Yuma, pay 1 clock, search. That in itself is really powerful. Shining Force, not a very powerful set. So this Yuma should be a very welcome addition to the set. I can't think of any good like level 1 they have at the moment. So perhaps right now they have a really good level 1 that I just can't think of. But yeah. But anyways, as the more cards are shown and as the booster pack comes out, if there is a really good level 1 target you can grab, then I'm sure this Yuma will be raised in value and raised in price. And I'm assuming this Yuma is just going to be staple in general, because the second effect is just too powerful. So overall, this Yuma, great card. And I wish Love Live got this, but Love Live only got it for Kotori. But what can you do? Let's go on. Overall, good card. Next up, level 3 Eden from the new trial deck. Or I'm sorry, from the new booster pack. He's a double R, and he's number 3. So there's going to be 2 other yellow double Rs. So do keep that in mind. He's a 3/2/9/5, 2 soul, core, and weapon as per usual, resisting fate Eden. If your opponent has a level 3 or higher character, this card loses 1 level in your hand, so he can come out at level 2. It has a continuous ability. This card gains plus 500 power for every other core character. So if you have a full field, he'll be 3/2/11/5. And lastly, has another effect of this card's ability. This ability activates up to 1 time per turn. During the turn that this card is played from hand to stage, when this card is damaged, is cancelled, you may burn 1 to your opponent. So he's a flare trigger on play. This Eden, I think, is it's fairly good. It's pretty good. He could come out at level 2 depending on what you're playing against, and honestly, a lot of the stronger decks do have like level 3s that come out at level 2. Like Nisekoi, very good example. I mean, Girlfriend Beta, but I'm not too sure anymore if people are running this dual color, will they have early summon level 3s? I don't know. But as of right now, Girlfriend Beta, they could bring out that level 3 that comes out at level 2. I mean, Terraformers got like Joseph and stuff. I mean, just a lot of series have cards that come out at level 2. Or have level 3s that come out at level 2. So in that regards, he's pretty good. But I mean, it's very like matchup specific. If your opponent doesn't have an early summon level 3 that comes out at level 2, this Eden is pretty weak, because if you play this Eden at level 3, he's only like a 3/2/11/5 with flare trigger, which is okay. I mean, like, he still has a flare trigger, so he can still he still is a game ender in that sense, because he does do the flare trigger, but he's definitely not as powerful if you don't get him to come out at level 3, or if you don't get him to come out at level 2. And since he comes out in US first, I'm gonna try thinking of what he's good against. I mean, he's good against Madoka because if they change into the level 3 Madoka, then you can play this Eden, and this Eden is 11-5, so he can run over that Madoka fairly easily. Love Live, no, most people don't run 2 to 3 changers. Nisekoi, the Onodeta is different, right? Can it still come out at level 3? Can it come out at level 2? I don't remember for Nisekoi. Crap. I don't remember what they did to the Onodeta. But anyways, like I said, he's very like matchup specific, and if you don't get him out at level 2, he's definitely not as powerful as he can be. But if you do get him out at level 2, I think he's really good because he's pretty much like you just pay 2 and you get to play him, which is really, really good. He's 11-5, so he's going to stick around. He's hitting you for 2 soul, and he gets to burn 1. It's just all around really good if you can get him at level 2. So overall, pretty matchup specific. If your local has like a lot of guys, like I play JP, so I'm just gonna say if your like local is filled of like a bunch of assholes that play Nisekoi and they're all running like level 3 Onodeta, then you can play this Eden and maybe, you know, try to put up a fight against their level 3 Onodeta wall. But of course they do have the level 3 or they do have the anti-changer Chitoge, so you know that can shit on you. But you know, I'm just overall pretty dependent on the matchup. But if you can get him out at level 2, he's very, very good. If you can't, then he's pretty lackluster. So I mean, we'll have to see. It kind of just depends on what your local has and just what you're like fighting against and what the meta is at the current state. But overall, I would say he's a pretty good level 3. He's pretty good. He's not like the crappiest level 3 ever. So overall, he's not bad. Curses. Day 1 already took 16 minutes. I was trying to keep this short. Anyways, 2 more to Love Root Darkness. 2-1. Backup. It's a TD. Melting Popsicle, man. What's going on here? Anyways, it's a backup. Choose one of your characters, gets plus 3/5 power until the end of the turn. What the F is this? 1-1 backups are supposed to be 3/5, not 2-1 backup. So what the hell? Like why couldn't this just be a 1-1 backup? I'm assuming it's because this card doesn't choose a trait that it gives 3/5, because like I said, I do think 2 Love Root Darkness is going to be very trait specific. So I think like their mentality was that since this card doesn't choose a specific trait in a trait heavy set, it should only be a 2-1-3-5, I guess. I don't know. Overall, I mean, not bad for a trial deck card, but overall, I think when the actual booster comes out, hopefully there'll be better backups in this. But like, geez, what is going on here? Anyways, let's go on. Wow, only that's it for Tuesday? Really? Okay, so that's it for JP on Tuesday. For US, we have this level 3 Mikasa. That of course synergizes with the level 2 here. So the level 3 Mikasa is a 3/2, 9k, double R, core and weapon. If the number of your other core characters is 2 or more, she gains plus 2k, so it should be 11k. She has another effect of when this card is played from hand to stage or via change, you may heal. And has another ability of at the beginning of your opponent's attack phase, you may pay 1. If you do, choose one of your core characters and this card and exchange them and put them both to stand. I'll go over the changer first. So the changer is a 2/1/7k core weapon Mikasa as per usual. This ability activates up to 2 times per turn. When another of your core character is placed from hand to stage, this card gains plus 1k. And it has a encore phase change. At the beginning of your encore phase, you can pay 2, put her to rest, or pay 2 if this card is in rest. You can put her to the waiting room. If you do, put a resisting fate Mikasa from your waiting room and put it onto the original slot that she was in. Overall, I do think this Mikasa is really good. It's she's 3/11k, which can be really annoying for your opponent to deal with, just because she's 3/11k. She also heals on play, which is quite nice. And her third effect is actually like, I think the third effect is really good. These whole like stage, I don't know what to call this third effect. I don't know like if there's an actual term for this, but I would say like these character swappers or these like slot swappers. I think they're really good and can be really annoying for your opponent to deal with, especially at level 2. At level 2, it can be like near impossible for some sets to deal with. So overall, I think the Mikasa, the first card, is good, And her changer isn't bad. Her changer is, it's a generic encore phase change where in total you pay 3 because you pay 1 for the Mikasa, and then you attack, and then you pay 2, so you get to change. I think it's a lot better than the other changer, like the ones from Angel Beats where you have to pay 1, discard a card. I think that's better because I think these are better because I think losing hand size sucks. But anyways, her Encore Phase Changer isn't bad because she could be 2-1 9k on offense because of her first ability. Her first ability activates twice per turn, so you play her first, you play 2 other core characters, she'll be a 2-1 9k, and so she can hopefully reverse your opponent's character, and that way she can change successfully. Because if this Mikasa tries to attack and she gets reversed, then she can't Encore Phase change, and thus, you know, that would really suck because your goal is to Encore Phase change. So the fact that she gains extra power before attacking is really good because that way it helps you guarantee the change. I mean, yes, you can side attack to always guarantee yourself the change, but why not front attack and guarantee the change instead of side attacking, you know? So I think the Mikasa gaining extra power is really good, just so you can guarantee the change. And like I said, I think if you can get this Mikasa out at level 2, I think it can be really annoying for your opponent to deal with because it heals, it's 11k body, it's attacking for 2 soul, and like you could just, you know, move your characters around and your opponent will just have a hard time to deal with it. Like they try to kill your weenies, you swap them, Mikasa goes in front, now your opponent has like to make a choice. Is he going to crash and front attack? He can crash into this Mikasa and deal you damage, but you know, slowly but surely your opponent is going to be losing resources on just trying to push for damage. If they side attack, that's, you know, they probably won't deal any damage to you because they're siding attacking a level 3, but they get to keep their characters and they take less damage next turn. But I mean, at that point you take no damage and you're just building up more resources, you're living longer because your opponent's forced to side attack. Just a whole lot of situations, and it really depends on how your opponent plays against it, and it depends on what you're playing against. So this Mikasa I think is really, really good. I think these field swappers are really annoying and a pain to deal with and can be very powerful. And overall, I think it's just really good. I kind of wish I had a set with these, you know, field swappers because I really do think it's really good. So yeah, overall this Mikasa is just super awesome card. I think it's good. I think it's fun. Pretty fitting of her, I guess. So perhaps, you know, like maybe this edit won't be used because this edit can only situationally come out at level 2. However, you know, with this changer, you can always guarantee Mikasa coming out at level 2, and she can wreak havoc on your opponent because she's only 500 power weaker than Eden. And yeah, she's only 500 power weaker, and she heals. So at level 3, she's at level 3 she acts as a good healer. And even at level 3, if your opponent is like running like if your opponent's running clock kickers or like double attackers that are dependent on reversing your opponent's character, something like Tachibana, of course you can put this Mikasa in front of them and then try to deny them their clock kicking or their double attacking, or make them think twice about trying to do their respective climax combos of sorts. So overall, I think this Mikasa is good at level 2, pretty good at level 3 as well. So overall, this Mikasa I think is great. Next up, Wednesday, more To Love Root Darkness, Doki Doki happening. What's going on here? Plus 2 soul, that's all. More Girlfriend Beta, 1-0, 1500 R. Her trait is just girl. When this card is played from hand to stage, you may pay cost. So just pay 1, clock yourself. Ugh. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 blue character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. It has another effect of you can discard a climax. When this card is played from hand to stage, you may pay cost, which is discard a climax. If you do, search your deck for up to 1 yellow character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. Holy crap, is this card insane or what? Oh, it's a level 1, so I guess it's more understandable. But overall, I think this card is, I think it's really good. Works for a lot of builds. It works for like the dual color build they're trying to push, like the yellow blue. As you can see, it's a pay 1, clock yourself to grab a blue character. Definitely not as powerful as the level 0 variants like you have with Yuma and Riki, and the respective one they had in the previous booster. In the previous booster they had a 0-0 with the Riki effect or the Yuma effect. But still, I mean, it's still not bad. You can pay 1, clock yourself, search for a blue character. Depending on just what the blue-yellow build has to offer, we'll see how good that is. But also her other effect is really good as well. On play, you can discard a climax. If you do, search your deck for a yellow character and add it to your hand. So she has a lot of uses. She can work in the dual color build, she can work in the monocolor build, and you can activate both effects on the same turn. You play her, you can activate her first effect, and you can activate her second effect. So just a whole lot of this card is super good. Just adds a lot of utility to your deck. It adds a lot of searching power. Just a whole lot of search that you can give to your own deck. So overall, I do think this card is really good. Next up, this Eiko. She's a 2/1/5/5 uncommon. She's girl and weapon. Oh, she actually has a second trait. Anyways, she has experience. When there's a yellow character and a blue character in your level area, she gets plus 4/5 power, which is huge. So she'll be a 2/1 6k. I'm sorry, 2/1 10k. With one soul. I think that's just super powerful. You pay one stock and you get a 10k beater for one 10k beater. That's just insane. You can keep up with the level 3s that come out at level 2. Not every level 3, since a lot of level 3s that come out at level 2 now have huge power, like Onodera comes with big power, Maki comes with big power, Mikasa comes with big power, Eren comes with big power, but still she will put a good fight against those respective level 3s that come out at level 2. And also Girl from Beta already has an anti-changer, so if your opponent is reliant on the 2 to 3 game, then you can just anti-change against them. And then if you anti-change against them, they might not be able to play another level 3 at level 2. And if they can't, then most likely their level 1s cannot keep up with this Eiko. So you might be able to win the level 2 game just with running this Eiko and the anti-change backup. So overall, this card is pretty good, I think. And this card is of course not susceptible to anti-change as well because it's level 2 and you can only play her at level 2 then. So yeah, of course the downside is you need to be running yellow and blue. This is the only yellow blue synergy we've seen so far. So perhaps if there are more better yellow blue synergy cards, then perhaps this card will be staple in the yellow blue variant. Also, this card is only an uncommon, so you can't beat that. An uncommon 2/1 10k. Holy crap, that's good. So I think overall this card I think is really good. I like it a lot. It's pretty sexy as well. Let's go on. More Yuma, 104k common. I guess he's the main character. Music and Dragon. What he does is for every other character you control with assist ability, he gains plus 1k. And he has another effect of, he combos with this wind trigger here, Mother's Dying Wish, which is only a common. When this card declares an attack with Mother's Dying Wish, all your other characters gain the following ability until the end of the turn. This ability can only be activated once per turn. When the damage of this card is cancelled, you may place the top card of your deck to your stock. Interesting. All your other characters. I thought it was every character. Anyways, overall, this Yuma is pretty interesting. For a common, I think it's pretty good. First of all, he gains 1k for every character you have assist with its name. So far, we haven't seen any character with assist in the league, so I don't know. I don't know what good assists they have in the series, to be honest, because like I said, I don't ever really play against Shining Force. So if there is a really good assist, do let me know. But if they are dependent on global assists, then this card isn't as good, because the global assist don't have the assist trait, or the assist text, I should say, so it's not going to give him any power, if Shining Force is super dependent on global assist, then this card will only be a 104k by itself, and then maybe with 2 500 globals it'll be a 105k, but that's not nearly as good. So I'm not too sure how good his first ability is. We'll just have to see what's to come, or maybe I just don't know what the really good assist is. Like I said, I don't know anything about the series. So let's just assume you have 2 good assists in the back. If you have 2 good assists in the back, he'll probably be a 106k, and you have a 500 in the back, so 500 in front, so he'll be a 1065 in the center. Let's assume he's a 107k, which isn't bad. So he's not bad. He's a 106k, assuming you have 2 good assists. You have 2 assists in the back. So 106k, definitely not bad, and a pretty decent climax combo. Wind trigger, super annoying to deal with. Depending on the matchup depending on what you're playing against, wind trigger can really put a thorn to your opponent's game plan, or just ruin their game plan. So wind trigger I think is just really powerful nowadays, and it has a pretty good. The climax combo is costless. This Yuma, depending on your back row, is a pretty strong 1-0, and every time your opponent cancels, then you get to gain a free stock. I mean, it's kind of dangerous because you don't know what you're stocking. Like if they cancel, you gain a stock. That stock could be a climax, and if you never pay it out, then you won't know what this blind stock is until you refresh, and then you might regret it later. Who knows? Overall, I think it's really good for a common. I mean, this is a common, and this is a common. So for a common cards, I do think these are really good. And like I said, I just don't know how good this Yuma really is, because I don't know if they have any really staple assists. If there's like really good assist characters, then I do think, once again, I think it's a really good card for a common, and just a really good like climax combo for common cards. But like, if they're dependent on globals, then this Yuma, of course, doesn't become as good. So I'm not too sure. If you guys do know Shining, of course, do let me know. Next up, more Attack on Titan. This is a PR. I'm not too sure how you get it. It's a 0/500 core and weapon. It's a 500 in front assist, and has another effect of when it's played from... Oh, this is in JP. Okay, I didn't even realize that. I was just assuming it was in English. When it's played from hand to stage, choose one of your level 1 or lower characters, and it gains plus 1k until the end of the turn. Not bad. The only other assist we know in the series is like the Automine assist. Or I should say the only level 0 assist we know in the series so far is this card and the level 0 Automine. And the level 0 Automine is pretty good, but of course it's only really good if your deck is consisting mainly of Mikasa and Edens. If your deck doesn't consist of a lot of Edens or Mikasa, then of course I do think this Mikasa assist is the better option, because you can give any character plus 1k until the end of the turn, so long as it's level 1 or lower. So I guess it just depends on what your deck consists of. If your deck doesn't consist of a lot of Eden or Mikasa, I would say this is your go-to assist. And it's pretty sexy. I mean, some ripped girls working out, so that's always fun. Next up, level 3 Levi for Attack on Titan. 3/2 10k double R core and weapon resisting fate Levi. He's a pretty interesting card. When a card named the Wings of Freedom is placed in your climax area, which is of course this gold bar, if this card is in the front row, you may pay cost, which is discard a card. If you do, choose a core character in your clock and put it onto any position of your stage. Then it has another effect of this ability can only be activated once per turn. During the turn that this card is played from hand to stage, and when this card battle opponent becomes reversed, you may pay cost, which is pay 3, put a core character from your hand into the waiting room, and put another character from your stage into your waiting room. If you do, put this character back to stand and move it to another open position of your stage. So quite a mouthful, and a very different double attacker from what we're used to. But first of all, his first effect is pretty good. Like his first effect, Climax Combo is the gold bar. When you do play the gold bar, you get to you discard a card, and then you get to choose a core character from your clock and put it onto any position on the stage. Of course, since it's going from clock to stage, you do heal a damage, since it's gone from your clock, so you get to heal. And his first effect gets to target any core character. There's no level restriction. Like the Little Buster's Riki one, I believe he has to grab a level 2 or lower, but this Levi can grab anything. So you can grab like, this Mikasa, you can grab this Eden. Of course, since they're being played from clock to stage, they don't gain their on-play abilities. So that's, of course, not as good. However, these cards, like this Mikasa, she doesn't get to heal, yes, but she does still pose a threat at 3/11k, and you can use her third effect during your opponent's turn. So a pretty good example. You can also grab the TD Eden that we saw a couple weeks back, since he doesn't have an on play, and he he denies your opponent backups and what have you. So overall, the fact that you get to heal is already really good. But the level 3s on Attack on Titan do pose a pretty, I guess, okay threat, even without their on-play abilities. So overall, his first effect is pretty good for that in that regard. Also, since he combos with Gold Bar, it's also really good because Gold Bar is really easy to climax combo with, because you don't ever really have to save it. You just keep attacking, and then one day you will trigger the Gold Bar, and when you do, your opponent knows that they're in some deep trouble next turn. And his secondary effect is also pretty good and interesting. His second effect is not tied to the gold bar, so like you could run Levi without the gold bar climax combo, or you could you don't have to use the gold bar for him to be good, and you don't even have to run the gold bar if you want to run Levi. But he's a double attacker, a pretty awkward one because you pay 3, which is pretty heavy. You discard a core character from your hand. It has to specifically be a core character, so you can't discard a climax, and you have to choose another character on your stage and put it to the waiting room. And if you do, you get to double attack. Luckily, you get to pay the cost on reverse. If you paid the cost on attack, that would really suck, and that would be really scary. But anyways, thank God you get to do it on reverse. And if you do, you get to put him back to stand. Of course, when you activate his second ability, when you sacrifice a character, you should sacrifice a character in the front row, because he has to move to an open slot on your stage. Don't be dumb and then you pay 3, discard a character, and then you sack one of your back row characters, because that'd be really dumb, because if your front row is filled up, then he doesn't get to double attack. But yeah, sacrifice a character in front row, and then he gets to go back to stand, and he gets to attack again, which is really cool and interesting. Very fitting of Levi, since he's he's super strong and he gets to kill everything in the field. So yeah, double attacker, quite interesting. And it's just, a lot of options you can do with this. You can kill something weak, move him to something stronger, and then at that point the second attack doesn't matter and you might just crash into it, what have you. Just a lot of different situations you can do with it. Of course, it's double attacking, so the soul can carry over. So let's say you attack a level 3, you trigger a 2 soul trigger. So he's at 4 soul now. You successfully reverse it. You go back to stand. Then you move him in front of another level 3, and then you can side for 1 damage, what have you. Just a lot of interesting things you can do. Because he moves around the stage, you can try to side attack for precise damage. Let's say you trigger a +1 soul. You attack, you trigger a +1 soul, you reverse, you go back to stand. He's at 3 soul, you put him in front of a level 2, you side attack, and then you get to try to deal precise damage. Other double attackers can't really do that because they stay on the same slot. So if they reverse a level 3, you can't and you trigger 1 soul, you don't have the option of moving and side attacking for 1 or side attacking for 2, what have you. Just a lot of interesting things that Levi can do, and he can go for a lot of precise damage depending on what you trigger, with his secondary ability being able to move across the field and trying to side for precise damage. So overall, I think Levi's really good. I think he's really cool, and I really like Levi. I think he's a really good card. On to Thursday. The SP of the trial deck is Yami, to no surprise. Woo! So yeah, that's it. We've seen this card already, and my opinion stays the same. I think it'll be really good. On to Girl from Beta, 001KR. Now, she's just a girl trait. During your opponent's turn, all your other characters gain plus 500 power. And it has another effect. It's a pay 1 brainstorm. You can pay 1, tap 2, mill top 4. For every character you hit, you get to for every climax you hit, search your deck for a blue character, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. So I guess they're not going too crazy on the whole dual color aspect. I guess they're still trying to promote some monocolor aspect to it. That's with this card, because this card can only grab blue characters. So if you're when the new booster comes out, if you liked your monocolor builds, then it seems to be that the new booster will still support the monocolor builds, because this card can only search blue characters, and she's blue, thus supporting the blue monocolor theme. Overall, I think it's really good. If you're running blue in Girl from Beta, then of course I do think this card is staple. It's a 500 global during your opponent's turn, which is, still really good. And it's a pay 1 brainstorm, and you get to plus, and you get to search blue characters. And if your entire deck is blue, then that's already really awesome. So overall, this now is really good, and she's cute as well. And all the girls are cute. I should get into the mobile game. Anyways, next up, 1-0 event, Sincerity. When you play this event, you look at the top 4 cards of your deck, choose 1 blue character, add it to your hand, discard the remaining amount. I mean, we've seen this event time and time again. It's not too common, but it's not too uncommon. It's you pay 1, look at top 4, add a blue character to your hand, and discard the rest. Not too bad at all. I don't think it's staple, but if you want to run a couple, you can't go wrong with it. So overall, not too bad and not too good. Just player's preference, in my opinion. Next up, more Shining Resonance cards. 0-0 Agnum Bullet Heart, Music and Dragon. Like, are they all Music and Dragon? I guess that will be the main trait for this series. Yeah, so Music and Dragon. He has an effect. Well, when this card is played from hand to stage, you may pay cost, which is pay 1, discard a card. If you do, search your deck for up to one character with resonance ability, show it to your opponent, add it to your hand, then shuffle your deck. And it has a bond with Yuma Ilburn, which is the first card we saw, which is really good because this Yuma's really good. It's a discard bond, so you play him, you discard a card, and you get this Yuma. So with this card, we already know that Shining Resonance will have the Resonance playstyle, just like Fate, Stay Night, Unlimited Blade Works have. To no surprise, I mean this series is called Shining Resonance, right? Yep, Shining Resonance. So no surprise that it's gonna have the Resonance abilities. So we haven't seen any Resonator cards, or just any cards that synergize with Resonate ability. So I don't know how good his first ability is, just because, like I said, we don't know any of the Resonators. So I mean, I guess we'll just have to come back to this card to see how good this card truly is. But if the Resonate ability is really important, then I guess this Bullet Heart's gonna be pretty good. If it's not that important, then I guess this Bullet Heart is gonna be whatever. But also, he has a discard one card bond for the Yuma Ilburn. Like I said, I do think the Yuma Ilburn is really good, and I do think he's going to be a staple card. However, I don't really think you need a bonder for this Yuma. I mean, if you run 4 Yumas, then like you don't really need a bonder for him, do you? And I would say Yuma is very powerful at level 0. If you get him off at level 1, that's still pretty good. But if you get him off at level 2 and like at level 3, then like it's not as good. So like the fact that I think Yuma is Yuma is super powerful and most ideal at level 0. And if you draw into a Yuma, then you're never going to discard him because he's super good. So like, why do you need to bond for the Yuma? Because if he's in your opening hand, or if you draw into Yuma, like, you know, he's not going to be in the waiting room. So I don't really think this bonder is really necessary for the Yuma. Just because, like I said, I think you should be running like 4 or 3 Yumas, and that should be enough for you to get one in your opening hand most of the time. So I don't think this Bullet Heart Agnum guy is too important, because I think the bond is a little unnecessary. I mean, you could run 1 or 2 at most if you really like want to keep it that way, or like guarantee Yuma, or if you just have terrible luck. I don't know. But and we don't know what the Resonators do, or the Resonator cards do, so like I don't know how good this Bullet Heart is. I don't think he's really good in my opinion as of right now, but we'll see. If the Resonate cards are like super important, then I guess this Bullet Heart goes up in value. But if not, then I think this Yuma can be, or this Bullet Heart can be like not like mandatory. So overall, yeah, I don't really know how to feel about this card, so I guess I'll keep him like at I think he's pretty meh right now, but I'm sure he'll be pretty good. Because, you know, Shining Resonance, so Resonance has to be good, right? But whatever, let's go on. Next up, Adamine, 3265 double R. Adamine, he's number 2, so we don't know what number 1 is yet. But he's core and weapon like always. What he does is this card cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects. He has another ability as he's an assist. All your core characters in front of him gain plus 2k power, and they gain the following ability of they cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects. And he has another ability of when this card is played from hand to stage, look up to X cards from the top of your deck, choose one of them, add it to your hand, and put the rest into waiting room. X is equal to the number of core characters you have. So first of all, Adamine, I think Adamine is pretty good. He's of course he's obviously an assist character. Not a lot of these level 3 assist characters, but there are a couple. There's like the one from Bakemono, the Hanekawa. And then they have the Shiroe from Lock Horizon, and I believe he's the 3rd one in all of Weiss to be like a level 3 assist. Actually, is there one in Kantai? I think so. I don't remember. But anyways, he's a level 3 assist. They're not too common in Weiss, but they are pretty interesting. And I do think this Adamine is pretty good. First of all, he can't be chosen by your opponent's card effect, so he can't be bounced, or he can't be just like back row killed by like, let's say, a ClimaxCombo of some form. So he can't like really be killed. The only way you can really get rid of Adamine is by like if you have a card that specifically attacks the back row, like maybe the level 3 Luca from Project Diva, the Ilya from, of course, Ilya. So you know he's a bit hard to get rid of, and I'm sure most series will not have a way to get rid of Adamine. So against most series, once he's on play, he will stay in play. His secondary ability is a 2k in front assist, which is really good because, like we've seen, all these, like most of the level 3s are quite powerful. Eden's a 3-2 11-5 with a full field. Mikasa's a 3-2 11k. The level 3 Eden we saw in the trial deck is like a 3-2 11k. Levi is not very strong. He's just a 10k base. However, Levi can use all the power he can get. So having a level 3 assist is most appreciated for Levi because, you know, he needs to reverse things. So Levi gaining all that much more power is really good. And also, they gain the ability of the cards cannot be chosen by your opponent's effects. So they can't be wind triggered, which is the most obvious one. But I think what's really good about it is that they can't be chosen by like bullshit, like anti-damage backups. Like they can't be compassed, they can't be money backed up. You can't use that Super Idolmaster event. So there's like, and you know, there's gonna be more anti-damage events to come. And it doesn't matter for Attack on Titan because their characters cannot be chosen by opponent's card effects. Well, at least 2 of them, because you know he only targets the 2 front row. So if you only have one Adamine, then your third character will still be, you know, affected by backups. But still, at least having 2 characters not being affected by those anti-damage backups can be really good for you. And depending on the matchup, you'll make a couple cards in your opponent's hands just dead, or just like being unable to be used, or they might just forget about it and they'll be like, oh, I'm okay, anti-damage backup. It's like, no bitch, I have Adamine. But still, overall, I think for that reason, I think Adamine's really good. His last effect is also not bad. It's just the icing on the cake. You play him. Of course, play him last, because if you have a full field of core characters, you play Adamine, you get to look at top 5, right? Okay, so he includes himself. So you get to look at top 5, and you choose a core character and add it to your hand. As we can see by now, the core characters are really good. So yeah, he can grab a lot of good cards. So overall, this Adamine is cool and awesome, very fitting of him, and I like this Adamine. I think it's a good card. Lastly, Friday. Level 3s for Girlfriend Beta. Oh man, 47 minutes. Anyways, level 3s for Girlfriend Beta. 3-2-9-5 double R. Tomura Michiru. She's her trait's just girl. She's 3-2 10k 2 soul, and she is a double R. What she does is when she's played from hand to stage, you can put the top card of your clock to your waiting room, so she heals. Another effect of when this card declares an attack, you may pay cost, which is pay 1, discard a card. If you do, this card gains plus 2/5 power and plus 1 soul until the end of your opponent's next turn. She's a healer, which is pretty good, but also her secondary effect is quite nice. You can pay 1, discard a card, and she gets plus 2/5, so she will be a 3-2 12k, attacking for 3 soul, and she gets to keep the power until the end of your next turn, so she'll be a 3-2 12k wall that your opponent has to deal with. So, not bad. Healer and a situational, somewhat game ender ability. So overall, I think this Michiru is pretty good. She's not tied to any color. Like, it's not like if you have a full field of yellow or some shenanigan like that. So you can technically run her any build. You can run her yellow, red, or blue, and it will work out because all her abilities will go off, which is really good. But for level 3 yellow, you know, it's bugging me. So I think they already have a level 3 yellow that heals. I believe it's the one that combos with like the wind trigger, or it combos with something and it gains the flare trigger. This one, I believe. Please load. Yeah, so they already have a healer with a pretty decent climax combo. The climax combo is a wind trigger, if I recall correctly, which is also pretty good. So I don't know how good this one will be. Yeah, it is the wind trigger. Okay, I remember correctly. So they already have a pretty good level 3 healer that combos with the wind trigger. But if you're not running, of course, if you're not running the wind trigger, then this card is better, because without the wind trigger, this is just a level 3 vanilla that could come out of level 2 actually. So actually, I don't know. But still, I think this card is good overall because once again, it works in every color. And if you're not running the yellow Climax combo, I do think this one is better than this one at level 3. So overall, I do think this card is very solid, and I guess double R worthy, and she's pretty cute as well. Yes, let us go on. Yeah. 3-2 10k R Haruka. It's just an R. Her trait is girl. She has an effect of the character directly opposite of this card loses 1 soul. And when this card is played from hand to stage, look at the top card of your deck and either leave it there or put it to your waiting room. And another effect of when this card declares an attack with the Climax Beats of Thunder, you may deal 1 damage to your opponent. I don't know what this Climax is. Is it an old Climax? Beats of Thunder. Actually, I don't know. I'm not going to look for it now. But anyways, this card is, you know, not bad. It's not the greatest, but A, it is only an R, so you can't really complain. 3-2 10k, hits for 2 soul. The character opposite of it loses 1 soul. You know, I've said this time and time again. You know, minus 1 soul is a double-edged sword, usually being more negative to the player playing it, so, you know, play this card at your own risk. It has a pretty weak on-play. I mean, on-play, you get to either look at top and either leave it there or put it to the waiting room. I'm not too sure if Girlfriend Beta has, like, is dependent on these top check abilities. Maybe they have, like, a level 3 that burns 1 when the top card is a certain card, like the level 3 Umi from the School Idol Festival Volume 2 booster. I don't know if they have anything like that, but even if they did, I don't think this card will still be very good. So she has a pretty weak on-play. And her last ability, Climax Combo, is Beats of Thunder. I don't know what Beats of Thunder is, so I can't really evaluate how good this combo is. The level 3, I know Girlfriend Beta has the level 3 Chloe that burns for X amount of damage depending on how much climaxes are in your waiting room, and that combos with the Gate, and you know, Gate is really good. And since they already have, since the series already has a level 3 that combos with a Gate, that's already really good. Like, even if this Haruka comboed with, let's say Beats of Thunder is a Gate, I still think the Chloe beats this Haruka in the end, because the Chloe combo is really good. Am I getting her name right? I believe her name is Chloe. Yeah, this one. I believe she's Chloe. The name's in Japanese, I can't read it. But I think she's Chloe. Yeah, combos with the Gate, so I think this combo is better. I think no matter what this card combos with, I think the Chloe is superior because it heals and it just does more, and it combos with the Gate. So I think and this card's just on play is really weak, and the double-edged sword of minus 1 soul is like really bad. So I think no matter what this Haruka is, if you wanted like a burn climax combo, I think Chloe's just better overall at the end of the day. So I'm not a huge fan of this Haruka. I think it's overshadowed by Chloe, and I think Chloe is hotter than this Haruka. So, you know, that's just me personally. So I'm not a fan of this Haruka, and yeah, I mean, I'm not a Girlfriend Beta player, so if I'm missing something here, and you play Girlfriend Beta, or if you're just familiar with the series, of course, do let me know. But as of right now, I think this Haruka is pretty weak, and I don't think it's going to be used. But A, it's only an R, so you can't complain. Next up, Shining Forest. Holy crap, this is only an R too? I didn't notice. Anyways, 3-2 9k, only an R, double, or 2 soul, Music and Dragon, so they're all Music and Dragon. What this card does is when it's played from hand to stage, look at up to top 3 cards of your deck, put one to your hand, and discard the remaining amount. It has another ability of when a yellow Climax is played onto the Climax border, it gets plus 2k power until the end of the turn. And it has the last effect of this ability can only be activated once per turn. When this card reverses its opponent battle, and the Climax Princess's First Love is in your Climax border, you may pay cost. If you do, put this card back to stand. And of course, Princess's First Love is this flirt trigger right here, which is only Climax common as well. Man, how nice of Bushiroad. Anyways, damn, I thought this card was pretty good, but now it's only an R, so now it's really good. Anyways, for an R, I think this card is terrific. She's really weak power, which does suck, yes. However, I guess you can kinda balance it when you play her Climax combo. She has Music and Dragon, so she shares the same trait as every other character, which is good off the bat. Yellow, she's in yellow, and I'm going to assume yellow is just going to be really easy to splash into your deck, or going to be a stable color, just because this Yuma, I think it's going to be staple, and if you're going to run 4 of these Yuma, then that's already like a guaranteed way to splash yellow into your deck. So the fact that she's yellow, she's really easy to splash into your decks now because she seems the same color as Yuma. So I hope you guys understand what I mean. But overall, I think yellow is going to be pretty good. And if it's not good, it's going to be really easy to splash into your deck. So she's yellow, so that's already pretty good. Her on play, you get to look at top 3 and choose any card and add it to your hand. Of course, since it's any card, you can, if you find a flare trigger, then that's a guaranteed climax combo. So grab a flare trigger, guaranteed climax combo. When you do play a yellow climax, of course it could be any yellow climax, but let's just assume it's the flare trigger. She'll be a 3/2/11k, which is not bad. And lastly, her last ability of when she reverses an opponent in battle, you can pay 3. If you do, put her back to stand, and yeah. So overall, I think it's pretty good. It's an R, and I think that makes it really good. You can try to fish for this flare trigger. The stand is pretty expensive at 3, but still pretty good. I mean, you can try to play, if you have a lot of stock, you can try to fish for multiple of these climax combos. You can play one Sonya, look at top 3. Oh, I didn't hit any. Play another Sonya. Oh, I did hit one, because by the time you play 2 of these, you're looking at top 6, and you should probably guarantee yourself one if you're decently compressed. So like with 2 Sonyas, you'll probably guarantee it. If not, you could play a 3rd Sonya and look at top 9. But at that point, I'm not too sure if you'll have enough stock to do this. But anyways, yeah, Sonya helps you guarantee the climax combo, and in conjunction with multiple Sonyas, it can make it all that much easier. She gains a decent amount of power thanks to her climax combo. The 1k 1 soul is 1k, so she'll be 3/10k. With her secondary ability, she'll be a 3/12k. So that's pretty strong, and with certain assists, I'm sure she'll be able to reverse a lot of characters. And when you do reverse an opponent's character, you get to pay 3 and put her back to stand, and thus double attack again. Double attacking, Bushiroad is really pushing this double attack shenanigans, and we all know by now double attacking is pretty good, and her only being an R, I think is awesome. And honestly, I like flare trigger. I think before when I first played, I was like, man, fuck flare trigger. I'd rather heal or gate or like pants, or I'd rather like gold bar, but wind trigger. Now I like flare trigger. So you know what? I really like this climax combo. And lastly, Attack on Titan. 3/10k, only an R. Titan, 2 soul. If you have a card named Threat to Humanity Colossal Titan and Broken Wall Colossal Titan, this card loses 1 level in your hand, so he can't come out at level 2. He has another effect of during your opponent's turn, if this card is at center stage and is not in reverse, all your other Threat to Humanity Colossal Titan and Broken Wall Colossal Titan gain the following ability. This card cannot become reversed. As a last ability, it combos with this book. With this pants. So put a card named, if you put the pants from your climax area into a waiting room, at the beginning of your encore phase, you may pay cost. If you do, return the top card of your clock to your hand, and this card gets plus 3k until the end of your opponent's turn. This card is pretty hilarious. Yeah, this is a pretty hilarious card. But first of all, I'm not too sure what he works with. The Threat to Humanity Colossal Titan and Broken Wall Colossal Titan. I'm going to check the trial deck. Sorry, I should have done this before, but I don't know what those 2 cards are. And I didn't actually look at the entire list of Attack on Titan, so it might be in the trial deck. Armor Titan, Colossal Titan. Oh, okay, so he's not in the trial deck. Yeah, okay, so I don't know what these first 2 cards are. So I don't really know how easy it is to play him at level 3. I'm assuming these 2 cards are going to be cards in the front lines, because if these 2 cards aren't like 2 front row cards, like I don't think they're going to be an assist. Because if they were an assist, there's no real point of them gaining this reverse ability. So yeah, let's just assume you have one of this level 3 Titan in the front, you have the other 2 Titans in the front row, and now your other 2 Titans, the Threat to Humanity Colossal Titan and your Broken Wall Colossal Titan, cannot be reversed. If they want to reverse them, they have to kill this asshole first. They have to kill the level 3 Titan first. the enormous stature Colossal Titan first, which can be pretty hard to deal with. I mean, if he's coming out at level 2, he's a 3/2 10k wall your opponent has to deal with first, and you know, if they can't deal with it, then you can't really kill the other two characters because there's no point because they can't become reversed. So it can be quite problematic for your opponent to deal with. And lastly, it combos with the pants. If you play the pants at the end of your encore step, you kill the pants off. Then you get to heal, and then he gets plus 3k until the end of the turn. And the healing is really good because you add the top card of your clock to your hand, and so the pants does break even. And he gets plus 3k until the end of your opponent's next turn. Of course, if he gets reversed, like let's say you have the pants, you attack, and then he gets reversed, you still get to heal and you get the plus 3k, but at that point he's in reverse, so like it doesn't really matter, so you lose out. So if you do Climax Combo, do try to keep the Titan alive, so that way you can keep the 3k power until the end of your opponent's next turn and make it relevant. So yeah, I mean, just looking at this card, I can already imagine a lot of people just making like joke Titan decks. Kind of like what people do with the cockroaches, how it's like a joke cockroach deck. It's pretty hilarious, but you know, I can already see a lot of people running like joke Titan decks, running Threat to Humanity Colossal Titan and Broken Wall Colossal Titan. Like I said, I don't know what these two cards are. I don't think they've been revealed yet, so I don't know how easy this card is to get out at level 2. Like, it really depends on what these first two cards are. If you get this combo off at level 3, then it's like, who really cares? But if you get this off at level 2, it can actually be pretty annoying. But like I said, I don't know what these two cards are. Like, if Threat to Humanity Colossal Titan is a 2/2, and Broken Wall Colossal Titan is a 2/2, like, is this really worth it? You're paying 6 stock. You're paying 2 for the Colossal Titan, 2 for the Broken Wall Titan, and then you're playing 2 for the Enormous Stature Titan. But like, if these are 1/0s, like if Threat to Humanity Colossal Titan is a 1/0, and Broken Wall Colossal Titan is a 1/0, then this card is like super playable. You know what I mean? So it really does depend on what the other two cards are, because I think this combo is only really good at level 2. If you get it off at level 3, it's like, who cares? But at level 2, it can be quite annoying to deal with, and if you can constantly spam pants, and since pants is pants, if you trigger a pants, you can grab a pants, and you can kind of loop the Climax Combo, and you know, loop the heal, and keep your opponent and keep your characters really strong and healthy. So overall, it really just depends on what the first two cards are. So I can't really give a fair judgment on this card. But if the other two cards are like 1/0s or 1/1s, then I think it'll be pretty good. But if they're like 2/2s, then I think it's gonna really suck. So it just depends on what it is. Oh, assuming that this isn't a typo on the Titan second effect, this means the other Titans can't be reversed at all, not even by battle. Yup. I mean, it can be a Titan. One second. Sorry about that, my sister entered the house. I didn't want her disrupting anything, but yeah, assuming the Titan's second ability isn't a typo, then you know, the other characters can't be reversed. I mean, it could be a typo. I mean, Bushiroad English is infamous for their typos by now, so who knows? I don't think it's a typo. I mean, it better not be a typo. The card's in freaking English. How can they mess it up? But whatever. They've done it multiple times. But whatever. I'm going to assume this isn't a typo. So overall, I think it's pretty funny. But even if the other two cards are really good, I would say save it for the joke decks, because the core character as of right now are just really powerful. So overall, really funny card. I think it's going to be pretty hilarious for a joke deck, just depending on what the other two cards are. But you know, we'll just have to see. And that is all for this week. I tried to keep it under an hour, but of course I couldn't, so I apologize. If you guys are still around till the end, thank you very much. And I do apologize I can't give like a super good evaluation on Girlfriend Beta and Shining Force, because I'm just not too familiar with the series. I do apologize for that, but I hope I did a pretty decent job. But anyways, like always, I guess we should do a little wrap up. Cute card, whatever. Elena Fumio, I think is really good. This Yuma, I think is terrific. Eden, he's good against certain matchups, but because he's only good against certain matchups, I would say just probably don't run him, and then you should probably just stick to the Mikasa, because I think the Mikasa is really good. So I think Mikasa is terrific. Don't know what's going on here, but I mean, it's a 2-1-3-5, which is like pretty shitty. So hopefully when the booster comes out, we'll get something better. Whatever. This card I think is really good. I think this Eiko is really good. This Yuma, like I said, I just can't tell because I don't know the entire series, but it's pretty decent. You can build a shit ton of stock. Hey, you can build a shit ton of stock and then play a shit ton of Sonias at level 3 and then go ham. So that'd be pretty funny. I mean, this is only an R and this is only a common, so maybe budget Shining Force decks, who knows. But as of right now, I think this card is okay. Pretty good PR, just depends on what your deck consists of. I think Levi's really interesting. I think he's cool. I think he's awesome. I like this card a lot. Yami, whatever. Now, really good for blue. This card is okay. This Bullet Heart is whatever. As of right now, I think he's whatever. I think this Adami is really cool and fitting for this character. Lastly, I think this Michiru is pretty good. Haruka, I think, is overshadowed by Chloe. Sonya, I think, is really good for an R, and just, yeah, it's good for an R, and she's pretty cute. I mean, Tony's drawing, so all the art's cute on the girls. And the Titan, we don't know what the other two Titans are, but even then, no matter what it is, I think you should just save it for a separate whole Titan joke deck, because these other core character and the core synergy they got going on is just too powerful to give up. And that is all for this video, guys. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I didn't miss out too much. But if I am missing out on something, do please let me know in the comments below. I've been rambling long enough. My throat is getting pretty sore at this point, so I'll stop. And until next time, guys.